Well, hello again everybody. I haven't produced a video for a while because things have been really hectic recently. I've presented at 3 orthopaedic meetings since September, and this time of the year is always busy at work. We all know that hip replacement surgery is one of the most successful operations ever, but despite our best efforts, sometimes things go wrong. As you know from my previous videos, surgeons hate complications, and most of us take them very personally. At a recent meeting in Oxford, I was invited by a spine surgeon to talk about how spinal problems can affect the hip. So I thought I'd share with you what I presented, why this relationship is so important, and what happens if we don't take account of it when we're doing hip surgery. Our hips and our spines work together. They don't move in isolation. When you sit down, your pelvis normally tilts backwards. When you stand up, it tilts forward again. These are X-ray images taken from the side with the patient standing and sitting. You can see how the spine and the pelvis move between the two positions. These are the different angles that we measure when working out what's happening in this relationship between the spine and the pelvis. In a person with a normal flexible spine, standard hip replacement planning works very well. But if the spine is stiff because of arthritis or you've had surgery, the hip has to compensate, and that can be a problem. In these images, the pelvis is stuck in the sitting position, even though the patient's standing up. If you don't take account of this when doing the hip replacement, it's possible to put the cup in the wrong position. It might well look like it's correct at the time of surgery, but it's going to cause problems when the patient stands and sits. The abnormal biomechanics increases the risk of dislocation, impingement, and excessive wear of the new hip. This is especially important, like in this case, where there's been a spinal fusion. In these cases, accurate preoperative planning is really important. We must assess how your body moves, not just how it looks on the standard X-ray images. We do standing and sitting images, looking at how your spine, pelvis and hip work together. We also do CT scans through the spine, pelvis, knees and ankles to build up a detailed map of your biomechanics. Just today, a review of different classifications of the spino-pelvic movements was published, so it's a really hot topic in hip surgery at the moment. New technology has really helped us here. One example is the OPS, the Optimised Positioning System, which I've been using for the last 10 years in selected cases. OPS uses advanced imaging and computer modelling to plan your hip replacement in 3 dimensions. I look at a detailed plan, and once I'm happy with it, 3D custom-made jigs are used in surgery to put the plan in place. It helps us to position the components in the right position for you, tailored to your personal biomechanics, not a one-size-fits-all approach. The implants that we use in surgery are off-the-shelf standard hips, which have excellent long-term results. What about the developments in spine surgery that I learned about at the meeting? Well, traditional spinal fusion is very good at helping people with severe back pain. But because the lower part of the back is made rigid, this affects the hip joints. Newer techniques, including motion-preserving, hybrid fixation and disc replacements, stabilise the spine while preserving as much natural movement as possible. This helps to protect the hips and should improve the outcome if a hip replacement is needed. So what does this mean for you? If you have back problems or you've had previous spinal surgery, your hip replacement needs individual planning. A well-planned hip replacement should be more stable, feel more natural, and is more likely to last longer. So why don't we do this for everybody? Well, it's probably not needed in most cases. Hip replacement surgery is generally very forgiving and successful. But if you have back problems, make sure your surgeon considers your spine as well as your hip. Because when we plan for how you actually move, we should get the best results. In the future, artificial intelligence and machine learning will be routinely used to enhance planning for everyone having surgery. There's a huge amount of research going on right now in this. If you've got any questions, please leave them below or get in touch. The details are in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.